Mirror's Edge is a game that comes pretty close to perfection. Let me start off by saying that the graphical or visual aspect is one of the major strong points. One of the first things you'll notice is the large amount of the color white, which initially feels dazzling and blinding, but eventually will start to grow on you. It offers a very strong contrast to almost every other color that is present. White is underrated and underused in most video games, and it is unclear why. It provides a very sterile landscape, not in a dull and boring way, but rather clean and pure. The color red is used to highlight certain objects you can use to advance to another platform. And while running inside buildings or around the city, you'll notice other really simplistic but very effective color schemes. The cutscenes on their part make excellent use of shadows and 2D animation. Their cinematic design differs from what you'll see while playing, but they don't feel atypical in any way. The character design and development is extraordinary. During the entire playthrough, it feels as if you're taking the role of an elevated or exalted being. While running and jumping on rooftops, high above the heads of the average working Joes, you feel different from everybody else. You immediately experience a high level of freedom, which is unattainable for most of us. Faith is simply someone who reaches out and lets her body and soul get carried away by whatever force is present. I would have liked to see her more like a lone ranger, guarding the skies. The way the story evolves makes her more emotional and personal, which, to be honest, isn't a bad thing either. She is above all a very compelling person that never seems to look back and wants to reach her destination as fast and as spectacular as possible. The story is great. I like situations in which individuals are confronted with a much larger force opposing them. Pushed against a wall, they see no alternative but to raise their fists and fight. Still, you'll never feel really alone. After all, you're part of a resistance, combating a shady government. The amount of information given is minimal, but in this case less is more. The whole city or world appears to be more mysterious that way. You can only make judgments based on what the main character perceives and believes. The original soundtrack is downright stunning. The sweet electronic vibes add an unlimited amount of charm and electric relaxation, and make the adventure more intense, energetic and significant. It makes me speechless. The only thing I believe to be a minor demerit is the fact that close combat is sometimes inevitable. One of the main reasons you should buy this game is the incredible sense of pace, the building of speed until you enter a sort of zen mode, in which you and the environment become one. The placement of armed enemies right in the middle of your running track, blocking your gateway to liberation, are a pain to deal with. The amazing parkour elements should never, or at least rarely, come to an end. In conclusion, if there is any game you should own on Steam or in general, this is it. If this game is on sale and you're asking yourself the question, can I spare $250? Does that fit in my weekly budget? Well then, allow me to be the one to say yes. Yes, it fits.